Giants 10, New England 7. Giants are going to go to 4-8 on the season after a missed field goal by the New England Patriots in the final moments of the game. And what a game this was for the New York Giants, right? Let's talk about this. Now, back to back wins for the New York Giants. You like to see that. The team is building confidence. The defense is playing lights out. Now let's be honest here, right? This is an opponent that is on the New York Giants level, right? Back to back weeks. I mean, Washington, despite them having, an undisciplined defense and the Patriots having what I feel is a better defense, they're still on the same level. These are opponents that are on the Giants level. And these are teams that the Giants should be able to compete with, even with Tommy DeVito at quarterback, right? Now, I got to say this much, right? Going into this game, there's the Jay Glazer, drop that he had on live television where essentially, he states that there is tension, real tension between Brian Dable and Wink Martindale, which can possibly lead to a mutual separation this offseason. Now, a lot of Giants fans, including myself, don't believe that Wink Martindale, let alone this defense, is anywhere near the Giants' problems. If anything, they are the only reason why the New York Giants are in these games to begin with and look like a serviceable team. Now, I will say this much. This defense continues to impress and continues to dominate. I mean, this defense was locked in today. I mean, let me go over some of these numbers for you, right? Just so that you guys can really take in how good this defense is. And again, this is without Dexter Lawrence today, right? So you have Deontay Banks. He gets his second interception of the year. Bobby Okereke, another interception, second interception. This is going to be, I believe, the fourth interception that he's been a part of as a New York Giant. He took that interception 52 yards. Xavier McKinney gets his first interception on the year. That's the third interception of the game. Kayvon gets a sack, brings it to an 11 and a half on the year. He's really setting himself up to be a very good edge rusher. I mean, he's setting the edge very well in the run game. We know he can get to the quarterback. He's showing you different moves, and he's only going to improve, right? Isaiah Simmons, I thought, had a pretty good game. Adoree Jackson looked fairly good in coverage today. Jahad Ward got a sack. This Giants defense has 3 takeaways today. They've had back-to-back games with 3 interceptions. I counted they have 19 on the year, which going into this game, they had 16, which was 10th in the entire league. So this defense is far from the Giants' problems. We know what the Giants' problems are, and they're not the defense. Can they make additions to the defense? Absolutely. I absolutely believe that they should attack the interior defensive line early in the draft and even in free agency. There's plenty of good prospects that they can draft in the second round, as they're going to have 2 second round picks if they do not trade up. Now, let's look at the offense, right? Tommy DeVito, I got to give him this much. He had himself, in my opinion, a fairly good performance today. Back to back weeks. I mean, he looked poised at times. Other times, he kind of looked skittish. He was running around in the pocket. He was bailing out of the pocket a little bit too early, causing some sacks. He's gonna improve. And I think the New York Giants have found themselves their backup quarterback. Now, I've been open in saying that I think that Tommy DeVito at best is a quarterback 3, and after this game, I'm feeling more comfortable saying that I believe that he could potentially be your quarterback 2 if you move off of Daniel Jones and decide to select a quarterback in the first round. Now, in my honest opinion, I mean, you look at some of the things that Tommy DeVito does well. I mean, I love the touch that he has on his arm. I love how he's able to manipulate the pocket. I like that he takes chances downfield. We saw some beautiful connections with Jalen Hyatt today. What a game by Jalen Hyatt. His first career 100-yard game as a New York Giant. 5 receptions, 109 yards. He had a beautiful connection to Jalen Hyatt in the first quarter. It was a spectacular catch, toe drag catch. Jalen Hyatt really showed that with a competent quarterback and a quarterback that can really make the most of him and attack him downfield, I mean, this kid can be really, really good, especially with Brian Dable in this offense. I mean, he had a beautiful sideline catch for 41 yards. I mean, I'm very happy with what I saw with Jalen Hyatt. I'm happy with what I saw with Tommy DeVito today. He found Isaiah Hodgins for a nice touchdown. Isaiah Hodgins grown man stiffed arms to the Patriots defender, walks into the end zone. I thought that Saquon had a pretty good game today. We got the ground game going. But in my honest opinion, I mean, the offense, look, they looked serviceable today at times, but, you know, still, you get 7 points on offense. And I thought there was a lot of plays that the Giants left off. Left out on the field. I think that there's going to be a lot of plays that they're going to want to get back. The offensive line gave up 6 sacks today. Now, not all of them was on the offensive line, but at the end of the day, you still gave up 6 sacks. The New York Giants have to address the offensive line this upcoming draft. I'm not entirely comfortable with using another first round selection on an offensive lineman. I'd rather attack that in later rounds and, replace Bobby Johnson at coach and get yourself a competent offensive line coach. But in my honest opinion, I mean, they did what they could to win this game. I thought there was a lot of opportunities for the New York Giants to seal this game and seal it early. We saw plenty of dropped INTs or plays that could have went the Giants' way, and they're setting themselves in better positions. I thought the special teams today, despite my feelings, which are Thomas McGahee should be out of MetLife Stadium by what time is it? 4:20 by 4:21 today. Despite that, the special teams had a pretty good game today, right? Jamie Gillian, he's putting his, in my opinion, best season together this year. I mean, he's putting teams deep in their fields. He's setting the New York Giants defense up in great positions, which is only helping the offense. You look at Cam Brown today, he had a huge, huge clothesline hit on the Patriots defender, and you could argue that he should have been, flagged for it. My issue with that, and I think this perfectly sums up the New York Giants season. He's clothesline hits the defender, forces a fumble, turns around, sees the fumble, and decides to celebrate. Now, you guys know I have no issue with these players celebrating. They work hard every single play. Every single play, they work hard. And, there's a lot of time, there's a lot of energy, blood, sweat, and tears that goes into, the preparation for these games and even in these practices. So I'm never going to have a problem with players celebrating. But I am gonna have a problem like that where you look at the fumble, even if it's a couple yards away from you, make the effort to go get that fumble. Don't sit there and celebrate. Come on, Cam Brown. You don't do that. You don't do that. Now, I do believe that he will be fined for that hit. Again, you could argue that that should have been a penalty there. But in my honest opinion, I mean, this was a good performance by the New York Giants. This was, and again, let me state this again. This was a team that the New York Giants should have won against. This is a team that, the Patriots had, I believe, the 31st ranked offense. Defensively, they were missing a lot of players. They weren't looking like they were, trying to win this game whatsoever. We saw Bailey Zappi come in the second half, and the Patriots seemed to be a better team when Bailey Zappi came in because Mac Jones was absolutely putrid. Now, Bailey Zappi, he wasn't that much better, but he was able to command the offense. He was able to get their run game going with Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott. He was able to find, the short game and get these screens. But to me, it didn't really matter. I thought this Giants defense had their way. They do need to improve in the run game, in their run defense. But again, Dexter Lawrence was not in the lineup. But that, to me, I think that just only highlights the interior defensive line room, and that should be addressed in free agency and in the draft. But yeah, so Giants are going to go on 4-8 on the season. Y'all already know how I feel. I do believe the New York Giants, you can make an argument they shouldn't be winning these games, but I never want to see my team lose. And y'all know I want Caleb Williams. That's most likely done. That dream is dead. But this is helping this team build confidence. I know I'm not going to say it's a meaningless win. There are no meaningless wins in the NFL. But if the Giants have their eye on a quarterback that they really want, and they have to trade up to get it, they have enough ammunition to where they can do it. And, I'm going to take this week by week, just like you guys should. Let's enjoy this win. I know that there's a lot of fans that are going to be upset, and I totally understand. But at the same time, let's try to enjoy this win. This was a good win. Really loved what I saw by this defense today. Do not fire Wink Martindale. You fire Bobby Johnson. You fire Thomas McGahee. You get those two out of East Rutherford. You don't let Wink Martindale leave this building. Do not let Wink Martindale leave this building. That's all I got to say. Let us know your thoughts below. How did you guys feel about today's win? What were some of your thoughts on the game? What were some of the things that you liked? Maybe some things that you thought the Giants need to improve on going forward. The Giants have some favorable matchups going forward. I know Green Bay is looking like that could kind of be up in the air after the performance they just had on Thanksgiving. They looked pretty good against the Detroit Lions, who they're looking like they could be a really good team this year. So let us know your thoughts below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say, and we'll see you guys on the next video.